This is Drop Tent Media Network.
Hey, welcome to the Weekday Comics. I'm Dave Primiano.
And I'm Dan D'Aprile, and we're here to shoot the shit and talk the news.
Oh,
hey.
We are abruptly in.
Just thrown right in from the intro. Remember when our intro was a weird, like, sci-fi thing? Or was that the intro to the news where it, like, devolved into, like, several layers of, like, us speaking at the same time?
I have no idea.
That was
the first 98 episodes were a blur.
They move so fast, don't they?
It's true. Hey,
but we have had a great guest for this episode.
we do. Live from Los Angeles, California, covering the wildfires. No, I'm kidding. We have
our man in the field.
You sent him out.
we have a correspondent now. Yeah, we have 3 episodes left, and we finally got ourselves a correspondent. How are the fires out there, Kirk?
These are wild allegations thrown my way, man.
We got Kirk Griffiths here. He's a fantastic comic, and he was a first time on this show, frequent Rank Bank guest. If you've heard me talk about the Rank Bank, which I do often, I usually bring up one episode, and it was the one pitched to me by this man here, ranking the letters of the alphabet.
Good episode.
What won? What was the top ranked letter?
I remember my least favorite letter. I don't remember my favorite letter.
That tracks. What was your least favorite letter?
Q.
Why?
Because it's got to deal with the conspiracy people. It's the only letter that can't stand on its own. It needs another letter to prop it up.
Okay.
And also, I don't think questioning should be on the LGBT. Like, questioning is like a free agent. You're not part of the LGBT. You're
sometimes it doesn't show up.
You're in
Sometimes
training.
it's
You're
not
in
there.
training.
Yeah. Sometimes it's not. It's like when the Avengers get together. There's always like a couple of them that
That's
don't
right.
always
Q
show
is
up.
Black Widow.
Yeah. Exactly.
Kirk, what was do you remember your favorite or least favorite?
I do, because it's still my favorite. P. P is my P. I find there's a lot of cool words that I find a lot of my favorite rappers, like they'll do like this alliteration thing. Like Killer Mike does a lot of alliteration with the letter P. I enjoy that part a lot. And I remember justifying that you could hang the letter P.
Ooh.
And I enjoy that.
Oh.
We also had a lot of contention around the letter I. And there's this whole concept, like, if you enjoy the letter I, what does that say about you? I think maybe it was yourself or Dan was very much like you don't like the letter I. And I was like, well, what does that mean?
I hate myself.
Was that? Yeah. Shout out to Dan Getz. I feel like it was like one of you guys were definitely like anti-I, and I think I was the one that was like, I kind of like I.
Stand by I. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
That sounds like a Danny Getz position. If I had to take a guess.
it's all you. So you weren't there. What would you say?
Oh man. I think my least favorite letter is Z. I know it's like an obvious choice, but like,
Why is that obvious?
Yeah.
because
I second that question.
because it kind of like you're already tired by the time that you say it at the end of the alphabet.
How fucking out of shape are you?
Not like winded, like bored. There's too many letters.
Fucking starting to race good. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then X. Oh my God.
Now, you know
Why?
You know as well as I do that everyone finds a second wind for LMNOP. Everyone finds their second wind on LMNOP.
LMNOP is what I assume that the cops were listening for when they ask you to do the alphabet with no melody when they do a DUI check, because it does roll so melodically off your tongue.
Yeah.
Like, damn it, I just can't. I got a tune in me and I can't fucking. I'm going to jail, but I got to fucking belt this out.
I got a song in my heart. It's LMNOP. But P, that's good because P ends LMNOP. It's a prominent, another point for P.
P is solid. So what would you say off the cuff? I know it was easier for us because we were ranking at the time. We had
Right.
thought, precision.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Run
okay.
together.
Also, because Z is also in some places called Zed, and I really don't like that. So that's really why it's
Zed's
Z.
dead, baby. Sorry.
But my favorite letter, God, that's tough. D, because I am self-centered and I love signing the D. Is Dan D'Aprile, so it's 2 Ds, and it's just the most fun letter, in my opinion, to sign.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I might
Yeah.
put Z ranked pretty high because it's sleep. It represents sleep, and who doesn't love sleep?
Yeah, okay. And it is, you can just say like Z-Quill or something, and you know exactly what.
Yeah.
You don't even need all 3 of them sometimes.
And some motherfucker marked that letter in people's chests.
Oh my gosh, shout to Zorro.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
okay, shit.
Yeah.
You got to get Zorro did
Shout
make
out
Z
to
pretty
Zorro
cool.
might be the episode title.
Yeah.
We were fucking nailing it already.
Yeah, that was a puberty marker for a lot of people. Zorro, Antonio Banderas, he's out there with the sword. You got Catherine Zeta-Jones with the sword. It falls down, her hair is covering her breasts. You're like, whoa, this in the trailer? That's what I was thinking
I
about.
never actually saw. What was her name in it? Did she?
It may have been like Bethany. I'm not sure. The realistic is
Is that a real ethnic-y kind of name? I feel like Bethany is a very specific.
Yeah, I don't think there were many Catherine Zeta-Jones looking women in the like American Southwest
Yeah.
/ Mexico named Bethany.
She may have been Sophia.
Catherine Zeta-Jones, it was Elena
Ooh.
Montero.
Ah,
That checks out. That checks
yeah.
out too.
I just heard a little guitar when you said that.
Yeah. So she did the Z too then. Like E is not a fun.
I don't know. It could be kind of fun. It's a little longer though.
Because you got to lift the sword. Z
Yeah.
is one motion.
Exactly. And like you said, you can cut a woman's like bodice to pieces doing the Z.
So Kirk,
as
if you
you've heard.
haven't listened, you now realize that we pretty much talk about nothing for an hour straight.
Yeah, this is feeling like a rank bank episode.
Yeah.
Rank Bank is strictly regimented and
Oh,
I was
structured.
shocked. I was shocked when I was on Rank Bank at how regimented it was.
Yes.
Like it was like you had to really kind of combine
Neil does
stuff.
not crack the.
great.
Wait, that's not the right term. But anyways,
I figured sort of thing like that, and I know the gist. I see two fellas on a microphone. I see a producer. I'm like, yo, we're talking. This is a little conversation club right here.
Yeah, oh, we are absolutely. And you came for the right week because last week we had the wonderful Brian Isley on and we talked so much that we didn't even cover the biggest news of the past 2 weeks.
What happened?
Dave, you wanted to talk about it.
no, yeah.
I just want to see how you frame the story that you wanted to talk about.
All right. So there's like been some division in this country. So did Elon Musk throw up 2 Nazi salutes or
Just
2
one.
not Nazi salutes?
Yeah, he did.
Are you asking my take, or are you sharing your
Yeah, I
take?
mean, some
Sure.
people think that he was just autistically aggressively waving.
Oh man, I mean, I'll be honest, man. Like I'm not the most like politically attuned person. I wouldn't dare say I'm like apolitical or anything like that. But I did not care for it. I'm call me sensitive and all that stuff. But I saw that and I was like, oh, that's some garbage right there. What is this guy doing? What is this?
Yeah.
I called my girlfriend in the room. I was like, yo, what the heck is this? She felt the same.
Yeah.
I knew we were in tune when she felt the same.
Was she watching too, or did like on a different TV, or did you bring her into an ambush of Nazism?
I brought her in. She watched it. That covered her eyes. I was like, yo, no more of this.
Yeah, because it happens
Nope.
twice.
Yeah.
I just wanted you to a taste. I didn't want you to have the whole course of Nazism.
Man. Yeah, well, people are saying too, like, I'm not even game for the idea of entertaining that he didn't know, and the idea of like, oh, someone's may have a level of autism. I feel like that's one of those things that's like, he knows, like that's like saying like, oh, you give someone the middle finger, and then like, oh, well, maybe they just didn't know for X, Y, and Z reasons. It's giving it too much grace. I think he knows that he knows.
Yeah.
We all know that he knows. Why even try to defend it?
Yes.
I find I've been bothered by this. I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like that either. That's like the kind of thing where like everyone wants to beat around the bush and be like, at one point I saw it I read it described as a Nazi-ish salute.
Ooh.
And I was like, Nazi-ish? That's very like a light fun kind of way to describe it. Like
I mean, it
we're
wasn't
going to a
Almost
rally.
like neo-Nazi.
yeah,
You
right.
know, it's like a new version.
Yeah, right.
Which is
It
nice.
wasn't structurally perfect, but I blame his body shape more than
Yeah.
than
He's shaped like
him trying to do something a little off Nazi.
Oh my god, the
yeah,
prime
he's
mark
sort of
of
shaped
Nazi.
like a whale, like a
Yeah.
baby
It
whale.
did
So
feel like Hitler would have been like too much. You know what I mean? It was just like too much. Tone it down.
How so?
Sorry.
Like,
no, I like that. You gave me a lot to think about with that comment. Hitler probably would not have liked that either. You know, he would be on our side on
Ugh,
this.
an
I just like
African. What, Kirk, you were saying?
so Dave, I wonder. So this is one of those things. Like, me as a non-Jewish person, I'm bothered by all that stuff. Is this one of those things where, like,
Well, they
I want to speak as a Jewish community, sort of thing like that? Like,
Well, for
Are
the
Jewish-
record, you wouldn't have gone over as a non-Jew, even as a non-Jewish person. You probably wouldn't have gone over great in that location and era.
Yes, no, I've heard not such great things. Every time I see 1950s themed diners, I was like, "You gotta cut this out. Who's gonna put ketchup on me?" But
I mean, I'd love to have my own water fountain at a restaurant now.
Yeah,
I gotta share that shit. Like, no.
yeah, some of the benefits, I suppose. But what I'm getting at though is this one of those things where, like, as like a non-Jewish person, like perhaps I'm more bothered. I mean, I don't think I should say that I'm more bothered than I should be because I feel bothered and that's how I feel. But as a Jewish person, how do you feeling about this? Are you bothered? Do you find it to be like just ridiculous in a way where it's almost funny at this point?
I'm a chameleon Jew, so I can, if it breaks out, I got the Italian last name. Ergo, also an excuse for the big nose. So
yeah, but you're gonna have to really lean on Primiano.
Yeah, that's my kit or whatever. Just like, hey, these fucking Jews, what's the deal?
You have to have the hands out here to distract from the nose.
Exactly.
That's important. Yeah.
No, the nose, because it does have the little Jewy, because Italians have like bird-like noses. I do have the little hump, the little Jew hump, hump, yeah. So I gotta say, I got the bump from getting punched by my cousin
Vito.
Yeah,
there you go.
Because I was making eyes at his girl Marie.
At your nephew's baptism.
Honestly,
You just see the
my
gold
thought
chain.
my thought of the whole thing was that, like, he does know what he's doing. I don't think what was running through his mind was, hell yeah, Nazism. I think his thing was, this will be funny.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Tomorrow, to watch people on
Yeah.
watch some people bend over backwards to defend me, and then watch the other side get gaslit into the next century. And honestly, before this, I only heard the term gaslight and didn't 100% grasp what it was. And then watching that, I was like, I get it now.
Yeah.
So thank you, Nazi Elon. I get gaslighting now.
Yeah, you figured it out when they were like, that was his heart goes out to you, Dave. You're crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, what are we gonna do if we start seeing people do this like in real life? And I know like that's real life, like it wasn't CGI and all that stuff, but if it becomes like a normalized thing, do we fret this in any way, or do we just see it as like, oh, this is a troll incident situation? We're not actually going to see an upstream in Nazism.
I haven't planned that far ahead, aside from my Italy starter kit.
There was a woman. There was a woman that she was like a township supervisor in Montgomery County, right outside of Philly, and she did it on a video. The Sig Heil, like obviously, and she said like, my heart goes out to you, ha 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 ha. And she did that last week, and she's already had to resign. So I think
it was like a 15-second clip too. It was like
Yeah, she was obviously doing it like maliciously and in a shitty way, but it's like, okay, so we know that township supervisor, not powerful enough to do the Sig Heil. Elon, you got away with it.
How many
Richest
figures
man
do you
in the
pull
world.
in city, whatever job you just fucking said?
So somewhere that line is, and hopefully we don't have society tested out, but there is the line. I don't want to measure it. It's probably like right around there.
Yeah.
Add a frame. Keep it
right
towards your
Hey,
left.
this is a pretty horizontally extended hand right
That's
there.
not. First of all, I think the radius is from. Well, you did. Oh, I just did it now.
We just stop.
I think at a 90-degree angle, you're perfect. Perpendicular. No,
Parallel.
perpendicular is the one. Parallel's two lines that can never meet. Perpendicular is a 90. Stop it, Dave. Perpendicular is a 90-degree angle, like two lines that form a 90-degree angle. I think perpendicular might be the lowest of the Nazi salute.
You think that counts as a Nazi salute if you're holding your hands straight out? I mean,
Straight
we're even
out?
afraid to do it right now.
Feet together? Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Feet together, arms straight out.
The other thing, I feel like if you keep if you have your arms straight out, which my arm is straight out, ladies and gentlemen, straight out from my body.
You got your fingers
and
separated.
my fingers are very clearly separated. Couldn't possibly be the Nazi salute.
Your pinky and your thumb are almost perpendicular.
Right.
That
you
is-
need like
that
a
is
straight. You
stretchy.
need like a straight ass Nazi hand.
I feel like we just brought Kirk on and be like, hey, how do you like our form?
Yeah, sorry. Chris.
No, I mean that is what I'm thinking about. Like when you do this thing straight.
There we go. There you go. Now it's not because your
No,
fingers
like,
are.
is it because of the fingers? Because when I think this, I'm thinking of like holding a basketball. I'm thinking like
Right.
Yeah.
like Michael Jordan, Space Jam, right there, holding the
Right.
basketball up.
Michael Jordan also rocked a Hitler mustache for a good chunk
shit.
of time.
Yeah.
I
he did.
contend that he didn't because he had the soul patch underneath and he was trying to do something different, but still not great.
Yeah, that was a rough look for Haynes.
Yeah, that wasn't. We all were surprised.
And our picture perfect white tight hair. They're like, fuck, we got to release some colored boxers now. We can't just have this white ass underwear with Michael Jordan pitching it with a Hitler mustache.
David, first I thought you were suggesting that you have a nice tight white ass, which props to you were. It was just the idea of like,
once upon a time, Kirk. Once upon a time. But
yeah, it could happen. I was checking on my bottom not too long ago.
Were you happy with what you saw?
Yeah, I got it going on. Fellas, if there's any brown fellas watching this right now, this is what I want to give it to the people. I suggest shave your bottom at least once or twice. Then it feels like you have two marbles rubbing together. It feels very nice.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
like trim or straight up razor, like shaving cream and
I haven't touched shaving cream in years. I'm electric razor.
ooh.
When I shave, what's the hair follicles? They curl backwards and they give me those bumps,
Ooh, yeah.
razor bumps. I can't do that. What?
Yeah. Speaking of chameleons, you're kind of like a chameleon because you'll do like every configuration of beard and hair, Kirk. I've seen
Nah.
you have been like basically bald shaven and clean shaven. You've been this configuration and everything in between. I like that. Why do you not settle on a
You're
look?
everything to and fro.
Yeah, I'm always trying to audition to be a Guess Who character, and every time I go in, I try to get a new hair expression. No, I just truthfully, a lot of it was out of laziness. I did not plan on growing my hair out, and then I just did, and I was like, all right, well, I kind of like it. I didn't know that I could still do it. I thought that I was like kind of like balding or thinning. I don't know the difference between the two.
You have no peak whatsoever. I think your hair. I don't know your age, but
You look good to
you
me.
look hair.
34.
Huh?
Yeah.
34?
34.
Yeah, you're hair for life then. I think.
It can still
Yeah.
happen in your 40s. But listen,
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask you to show me the back, but from the front, take it as a bald guy.
Let's
I
see-
can
yeah.
see that stuff. You're doing fine.
Let's see your yarmulke spot.
Oh yeah, you're fine. Yeah. I wouldn't worry.
Yeah, I mean, I'm chilling if that happened. I mean, it's because it's all the men on your mother's side and
Yeah.
all that stuff, and they're all players. And
I
like,
don't think that's true. My fucking uncle's great head of hair
Yeah.
oh,
Well, maybe
on my
it
mom's
skipped.
side. Yeah.
Maybe it skipped a
there's
generation.
there's
grandpa-
anomalies.
No, my
There's
grandpa
anomalies.
had hair for up until
Okay.
Yeah, man.
I started balding at like 22. Like
Oof,
that's when it really.
rough.
That's when like I noticed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You rock it well though.
I mean, there were lots of years of denial. I had the mousse, and I tried to like twist the little front strands that I had together
Yeah.
to like it. Yeah, this is out of necessity. Like the more hair I have, the balder I look now.
Oh, same. Yeah.
What do you think
That's
about
interesting.
what do you think about the guys with gel? Oh, sorry, Kirk. Go ahead, buddy.
No, sorry, I was laughing at that concept. The more hair you have,
Well,
If
but
you're like a
especially now,
bald
it
person.
grows out on the sides, and not,
Yeah,
so
that's
if
right.
it's all one smooth formation, cool. Outside,
out.
nothing up here. Wow, that guy's fucking bald.
That guy is bald. That guy. It's like the George Costanza bald. It's
like
just a-
pronounces the baldness.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's-
And yeah, when I had shorter hair, like I didn't have long bangs to twist together,
Right.
and then yeah, that would just show bigger recesses or whatever.
Do you ever entertain the idea of like whether it's hair implants or the Rogaines and all that stuff? Was that something that was on
No,
your radar?
that's- That's like vanity. I don't have much vanity.
Okay.
I don't seek to improve myself. No, I've embraced it. It's not like, I mean, when I had hair, I had to like it. That's like an extra X amount of minutes that go into my morning or whatever. Now I fucking
Yeah.
Bald. It's easy.
Yeah, bald is very easy.
maintainable.
That kind of makes up for the fact that you can't do anything with it.
And
It's
it-
incredibly easy.
Let's
Bald is easy unless you grow, kind of like you mentioned with the growing the hair
Mhm.
part. Because like I shaved it all off, and then it was a thing where I was shaving it almost every week because it would just be like little sprouts that'd come up and be like I wouldn't want to commit to like getting some hair. I just wanted like all or nothing. So I found that like having to constantly shave it off, I didn't care for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pain in the ass for sure. That's why I let it go, and then I end up with poof.
That's where hats are. Yeah,
that's why I'm always in a hat.
I'm rocking a good amount of hair right now. I look fucking bald without this hat.
Yeah.
Another thing I want to give to the people: stay away from some of those Rogaines and all that stuff. Apparently, it causes erectile dysfunction.
I'm okay
oh,
with
man.
that too. That's
That happened
I said,
at
yeah,
23.
having no hair takes 10 minutes. Like having no hair gives me an extra 10 minutes a day. Having no erections gives me like 3 hours a day.
That is, I guess, the plus side of being a eunuch. A lot of free time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I couldn't imagine how much fucking creative shit I could get if
That's
I
why-
was just flaccid all the time.
That's why the kings that had the eunuch advisors were the smart ones.
That's right.
Those guys just have so many more time, like so much more time to learn.
Off with their heads.
Wasn't it a thing like back in like Roman times where like if your penis was small, you were seen as intelligent, and if you had a big penis, you were seen as a dummy?
Yeah, that's why all the Greek statues and Roman statues have tiny little ding dongs because
Yeah.
they saw it as like a more like the bigger your dick was, the more uncivilized and like barbaric you were seen as.
Damn.
And
Yeah.
plus, yeah.
I'm a man of culture.
Now those museums don't have to worry about those whores grinding up against their statues. That was a big They used to chisel the first iteration of David, fucking down to his
Huge
knee,
hanger, yeah.
and then they put it in a museum and they just had to beat them whores off with brooms because they were always just sneaking in and grinding.
Yeah.
The original thoughts, yeah. I just pluralized thought. Wait, is it?
Yeah, sure.
What do you?
It works out.
You actually had a podcast called Proper Ebonics, so I would like some proper Ebonic. Is thought? Is the plural of thoughts, or is it still? It's because it's those hoes over there. Plural.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say the plural of thought is chicken heads.
Okay. Yeah.
It jumps over to chicken heads.
So
Like if you
what's
see like two people that identify as thought,
Okay.
chicken heads right there.
What would we
walking
say
the
like a
street.
traveling group of them is? Like a pod of whales or like a, murder of crows? What would like a group of thoughts be called?
I'm gonna say a pot of thoughts.
Pot
Yeah,
of thoughts.
Pod of
yeah.
thoughts. All
Thoughts.
right. I like
Pot
it.
of thought. You can find it on the Amazon page, I'm sure. You can find it on Backpage as well.
Yes, you can find them on the back pages.
Martha Stewart's new cooking book. she's trying to do sexy layouts later.
A pot of thought.
Yeah, that's I haven't met anyone that is identified as a thoughts. But that's pretty cool. It's when I shave my bottom. Sometimes I feel like a little bit of a thought.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a little thought, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, are there self-identified thought? Thought is
Sure.
an
Has to
earned
be.
title, right? Okay.
I'm sure,
Yeah.
people describe themselves as thoughts.
Because
I'm
a
sure.
self-identified would be like that hoe
Over here.
in
In
here.
That hoe over her.
There you go. That
That'd,
hoe
be, that'd be a thee. I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't know how you pronounce
Yeah.
THIH.
That hoe over there,
You're
and
right.
you point in the mirror.
That is
You
true.
wanna-
Too many people are worried about that hoe over there. Not enough people are
That
worried
hoe
about that hoe.
in my soul. That's the Thims.
I think we just found a radical
Yeah.
new self-help strategy.
Am I allowed to create Ebonic terms? I don't believe I am, right?
I think so. Yeah,
Sure.
it's what you feel in your heart. I feel like overall, like a lot of like Jewish culture, you've come up with so much. It's been a good give and take between Jewish and Black culture with your
Yeah,
terms.
mostly a take.
We love
Take
taking.
a lot of taking
Yeah.
from Dave's people there.
There's like 5 of us have seen all of Woody Allen's movies. We appreciate that.
That's right. So he gets the writer because he's done a lot of bad.
Woody Allen's
shit.
like the original certified lover boy. That's
Yeah.
he's
Oh yeah.
gotta be careful, Woody Allen. It's funny, as I was saying it, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. Woody Allen's kind of problematic.
Because the Jews stand by him. I was actually during the holidays. My cousin was in town, the Jewish side, and he's my mom's cousin, so he's more like an uncle to me. Because they're like, yeah, and he was talking about, I separate the art from the artist. Like I will still enjoy a Woody Allen movie, and then I said, oh yeah, I feel the same way. I still enjoy a Mel Gibson movie, and he's like, no, I have limits. Or whatever. I was like, wait,
huh?
did Mel Gibson do something worse than Woody Allen?
I don't. They're not. Neither of them are good, but yeah, I don't see how you can make the distinction if you can separate for Woody You should separate from Mel.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's just people just, I guess, react to what affects them personally.
Yeah,
They
that's
don't
all it
think
is.
about the
It's
whole,
their
the royal,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
what,
mean-
yeah, saying some fucked up shit is always better than doing fucked up shit.
Yeah. Well, I always thought that I was really good at separating the art from the artist until I tried to go back and watch Cosby, and then I realized like I have a limit. It's definitely at Bill Cosby, probably somewhere
There's
past
a-
him, but
There's a talent to offense ratio that needs, like, one of the, like, early 2000s, there was this band Lost Prophets, very 2000,
Yeah.
they were a band of the era, that they were that kind of rock music. They were okay. They were solid to listen to until you found out what the lead singer did to a 2-year-old.
yeah,
What?
yeah.
And now
it's
that
what you think.
it's just, that's bad music now.
Yes, right.
It's
You-
just
they're-
not, yeah.
You can't listen to.
But
Lost
Michael
Prophets.
Jackson, fucking king of pop, put out a hit,
Yeah, I still
put out
I-
a banger 5 decades straight.
right.
Michael,
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It really.
But,
Wait.
but-
So Dan, how are you feeling about Cosby? Because it's funny because I was just looking up the theme song for each season of the Cosby Show, and I was like in a little rabbit hole of Cosby.
Oh, nice. I couldn't go back to it. Like it just tainted. I guess all of his comedy is so personal and it runs through him so much that I just couldn't stop thinking like, damn, this was like a really like long period of like rape. Like you were just doing it. Like that you were just a predator out there on the prowl. Like it's not that it would make it any better, but it wasn't like one thing or he abused one person. Like he
Right.
was like the epitome of like that vile predator that we worry about.
like we
And so
could-
for him to be that, and then you watch his stuff and he's like, my kids, and it's just like I can't get back on board with the like exasperated silliness of being a dad when I know like the whole time there's this like sociopath on the inside.
we said it was just one person, so like we could still watch Seinfeld because he was only engaged to one 17-year-old. If he was
Yeah.
engaged to 70 17-year-olds,
Right.
then
It's-
like I don't know if I can watch Seinfeld anymore.
We have had this many times with O.J. Simpson.
well, also,
Yeah.
well, Seinfeld, it's got him and Kramer.
Yeah.
Like, does the
yeah.
cast have to tilt to 75-25 before like Seinfeld's done? Because George and Elaine are still squeaky
still-
queen, right?
Well, I think so. God, I hope so.
Yeah, that's I find the Cosby Show I could still watch. I find maybe because like just how I viewed it as a kid,
Okay.
Mhm.
like it was one of those things where I'll go back to it and I feel removed from Cosby. Like I don't even think of like Bill Cosby like stand up while watching it. I'm like, oh, I'm watching like the Huxtables.
Yeah.
And maybe there is that sentimental value to it where I'm like, oh, I don't feel like I'm watching Bill Cosby. I'm watching the show.
Yeah.
But I could see how people could feel that way. I haven't watched this stand up in a while. That I'd be curious. I always wonder, like, you mentioned Proper Bonics. I've mentioned this with Alan Massenberg before, of like, if you get asked to feature for someone like Bill Cosby, or maybe someone else that's super problematic, but let's go with Bill Cosby. What do you do? What do you do? Do you separate the art from the artist in that
you
one?
Cover your drink.
Can you look out for yourself? Are you allowed to? Like, there's like it's my biggest problem with like so many people have an opinion on who you take a booking from, and these people don't book you.
Yeah.
So at the same time, like,
But I
why
mean,
do you care now? Like,
I won't
it's-
go
yeah.
so far. I agree with what you're saying, but I wouldn't go so far as then to take a job with Bill Cosby. Even if that's something that would like say that would launch your career. I don't know what situation we're in where Cosby now has this like dedicated fan base that will launch your career, but let's just say he does. I still don't know if I'd do it. What is the worth of selling out? I guess it's what you get out of it, right? But I just couldn't sell out that way, I don't think.
I guess it depends on what's constituted as selling out.
Yeah.
For some people, it's like, oh yeah, I could do this. I've done shows with headliners that maybe not necessarily seen as globally offensive, but maybe they just don't particularly find them funny, or they find them bothersome in some ways. And it's like, oh, well, as a feature, I'm getting myself out there and that gets performed for X amount of people that this crowd comes. But that could also be seen as a very selfish way to look at it. So it's not saying that's right.
No, I just think with Cosby, it's like real crime. I think there's a lot of people that I might not like or disagree with that I would certainly open for.
I don't know.
Just because it's money and it's get your name out. But it's like when you're talking about like a real. I guess that doesn't describe many people. Like, sorry, I probably won't open for you, Chris D'Elia. But I mean, if you wanted to call, we'll talk. But like, I don't know. I don't think I would.
I've already opened for fucking like YouTube personalities and shit like which just, and I fucking obviously stand up wise I blow them out of the water,
Sure.
but like I feel that's more shameful than any fucking Cosby, Louis C.K. fucking. Plus Louis C.
I would open for
Cosby.
Louis.
Cosby, my style. Like, I think my audience would have a lot of crossover. The jokes I tell would really work for a Louis
Yes,
C.K.
same.
audience. A Cosby audience, not so much. I feel.
Yeah,
like.
that is also true. Right. I think I would have the same
Like
calculation
they'd
in my
be
head.
even if they're not offended. It's so weird. They're not offended by him as a person, but they're fans of his stand-up. They'd be offended by my stand-up.
They're complaining after the show.
Yeah.
I don't like that language you did. Like, oh, you know he raped 70 women, right? But he didn't say fuck on stage. He did not say fuck on stage.
You know, Dave, you just sold me because you could get away with anything opening for God's sake. You could say anything. Oh yeah, you think that
Oh,
was bad?
sorry, did I just rape 70 women? No.
You have license to kill. You can do
That's
whatever
right.
the fuck you
I
want.
have license to do anything but rape.
Yeah. Anything under rape, the world is your oyster.
So you put rape above. Actually, I put rape above kill too.
Yeah.
That's
I
why
do.
there's no comic books with vigilante rapists, but there are vigilante killers. I like the little head. Oh, what did I get myself into?
Yeah. Be a much different logo than the Punishers. That's for sure.
What would the Punisher logo be if he was a vigilante rapist? This is a fun game to play.
It would have the
Kirk.
same. It would have the same general shape. It would be like a. All right.
Oh,
I think we're losing
Is he-
Kirk.
Are you asking me to participate in this?
I think he's pretending his mic cut it.
Yeah. We're having some connection.
would-
Oh no, guys, I'm still.
What would vigilante Punisher's rapist logo be?
No.
I think that's reason what it would be like. Yeah. I don't know.
Just a shame
Getting
that's
kinda
audio
crazy
issues
out
there,
here, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay, I have a
usually not
question
good.
for you.
Maybe
guys.
just like a skull, but it has like a little bow on it, and it's like, hey, look at how that skull's dressed. Sorry.
I think it's a
You're
rape
wild as
whistle.
hell.
I think it's a rape whistle with a knife on the bottom.
Okay.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Neil's usually the one that tries to stop us from doing
Yeah,
this
now he's
stuff.
just contributing.
We're almost at the end, baby. I don't give
That's
a fuck
true. You're
anymore.
right. Home stretch, baby. Okay, I have a question for you that has nothing to do with this, but mercifully changes the subject. Donald Trump has been issuing on the subject. While we're getting off the subject of rapists, Donald Trump has been signing a bunch of executive orders. He's just signing whatever the hell comes into his little old head is making it an executive order. He stopped all federal funding yesterday, and then today he wrote another order that said forget that order. So he's just having fun writing executive orders. Guys, I put to you the question: if you were president and you could write just one executive order, and that's just your word is law in the new regime, what is your executive order? What would you make law?
All right, I came up with a dumb one real quick, and then we'll let Kirk.
Okay.
I
I
came
would
up with
change the
one,
name
so.
to Golf of Boobs.
Okay.
How everybody should be
Yeah.
able to get like say yeah, you're not making enemies. Everyone's who do you make it a vacation spot? Let's go to the Golf of Boobs.
The Gulf of Boobs. Yeah. Okay. There's probably like several restaurants down there that are already named.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great when a hurricane hits it.
Yeah.
Ooh. Wet T-shirt con.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Golf
Little-
of Boobs.
Yeah.
All right.
That'd be the highest export for milk, perhaps. We're being silly. We're being silly people.
We're just having fun.
Yeah.
What do you think? What would you write as your first EO, President Griffiths?
And I don't know if it's a silly one because I mean it. It's definitely prejudice, I'd say.
Hey,
Yeah.
this is the Heil Hitler fucking
Don't do that.
administration.
Don't do that.
Mine's is the idea of outlawing. At first, I'd go for outlawing flip flops as a whole.
Oh,
Oh.
But
all
if we got pushback on that, which I think we would get a little, I would lessen it to flip flops on men. That's what I think my executive order would be. I
Okay.
don't like that.
Okay.
I don't know.
I like that. And don't worry, because in this regime, it's if they protest, Posse Comitatus Act, we suspend habeas corpus, you just start throwing all those hippies in jail in Guantanamo Bay where they belong.
Oh my
No
God.
more sandals, no more
Yeah,
shoes.
you're an anti-feet guy then, I'm guessing.
I'm learning more and more. I not really. I don't like flip flops. I think I like sandals. That could be fine.
Right.
But something about flip flops just
Not secure enough. A sandal, it gives more
I would
of a
outlaw
foot
sa-
security.
I'd still
makes
outlaw
the-
sandals in movie theaters.
oh,
Because of the flopping
you,
noise?
you
No,
say you
just-
wear
I don't wanna see
sandals
someone's
and
What's up?
oh, that's wild. You say you wear sandals at the movie theater?
No, I would outlaw sandals at anything that shows feet, because I go to the theater with the recliner seats. I don't want to see a person's fucking feet near
That's a
me.
good point. That's a good point.
Yeah, there's some sort of science behind it, and I can't say I'm going to know how to cite it, but there's some relation between like feet and how we view it, and it's similar to genitalia.
I
So
don't
when
want to see that at the movies. Oh, on the screen maybe, but not the
Yeah,
person
all right,
next to me.
all right, calm down there, Quentin Tarantino.
but apparently that's when a lot of times people have adverse reactions or strong reactions even to feet. I don't necessarily hate feet or anything like that. I just think, for lack of better words, flip flops are one of the trashiest things you can do, and that's okay if you want to be trashy in my book sort of thing. I found that I despise it, and also I think it's an idea that I've had in my mind for so long that my brain can't come around the idea of like, oh, do I need to revisit this? Maybe I do like flip flops. I'll never like flip flops, so.
What would you substitute for? Because there's only really one logical place to wear them, like the beach, because it's the only thing you walk sturdily with on sand. Like I fucking hate flip flops, so I've worn shoes out there, and you're walking like a crippled camel. But
Yes.
like I was like, fuck, I just got to buy flip flops, and I fucking made it across the beach, lovely.
I've worn Asics on the beach. Yeah, man. I'm really not about that whole sandal thing. So
Oh, yeah. Did you leave the door open for sandals, like a strap sandal, or are we closing that door entirely?
that's okay. That is okay. I don't love seeing it, but it's
What about in the
It's
context of like a Greco-Roman costume? Would you allow a costumed sandal?
so the sandal part, yes. But if you have like the thong part in between like your toes and it's clapping around while you're getting popcorn and all that,
Yeah.
Okay.
no way.
Sandals typically don't. They're not the clapping around.
You got to
ones.
tie them up.
They're-
They're like
they're usually-
secured.
How about
Yeah.
then we fall into the biggest one that I see all the time now? Crocs. How do we feel about Crocs? Is it
I'm
the
cool
same?
about Crocs.
Yeah, what-
Crocs
Actually,
are good.
See, I
They
Actually,
don't
do
make
like
a
Crocs.
noise. They don't show the foot.
Yeah.
They're fine.
Yeah.
Like, they look stupid, but I don't care what people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
physical-
to me they're in the flip flop family. Now I don't have a problem with flip flops. They are trashy. I agree, Kirk. But I think that a Croc and a flip flop, they're they're cousins.
I do
Yeah,
agree.
Why do so many doctors wear 'em? Like a fucking doctor? If
Doctors wear like found a way to wear pajamas to work. They just call them scrubs.
that, and they fucking have 8 years of schooling,
That's
so
why
maybe they're
they're- yeah,
fucking
that's it.
thinking on a higher plane than us.
Oh, hey, I'm not saying Crocs are bad. I'm just saying they're in the flip flop family. Like if Pixar was to do a movie about flip flops, like the big dumb one would be a Croc.
That's actually very true.
You would make it. You wouldn't just make it the world of shoes. You would just make it one specific type, and then have their fucking mongrel cousin, the Croc, in there.
No, there would be sandals as well. The shoes would be the bad guys, I think, in this
Ooh.
situation.
Okay.
Yeah, the Larry the
Now, would you
Cable-
have like skateboard shoes? Would you like stereotype the shoes? So like basketball shoes would act one way, like
Yes, of
skateboard
course.
shoes,
And
like
you know how
Vans.
basketball
Yeah.
shoes would act. Don't say one way.
Don't do this.
Don't say
What
one
would
way.
the Asian shoe like the?
Oh, Kirk, actually, I can compliment you and tie this in. Kirk wears a brand of shoes that I've been meaning to buy. I compliment you on them every time we do a show together.
Vayus.
You wear karate shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or crush Vayus, man. They're
That's fucking
good.
badass.
They're sick. I've actually stopped wearing them as much. It's a whole. I won't even get into it. I'm going to get into it.
Get into it.
So I have a slight version of a leg length discrepancy, where one leg is longer than the other. So I've been wearing an orthotic in my right foot to make up for it because I've been feeling more in my hip. A lot of kids, when they have this, they develop scoliosis, and I had scoliosis. I had to get surgery for it, but I realized it more and more as an adult. So the Fayus are great, but because they're martial arts shoes, they don't have as much room for the orthotics.
Yeah.
Got it. And that would be the Asian shoe.
Yeah,
in the,
of course.
Okay.
Yeah, that would of course be the Asian shoe.
Listeners, if you're out there right now, if you're when you're, I want to give suggestions and all that stuff. Check yourself for leg length discrepancy. Check yourself for it.
Okay.
I mean, I walk in circles, so I assume that they're the same length. But did you walk it? Did you feel like if you try to walk a straight, like if you got pulled over and a cop was like walk a straight line, you would still veer to the right or left? And
No,
be,
it's like
sober.
no. I think I'm pretty agile. You notice it more so in like my shoulders, like how my body's aligned. It's really like an alignment. A lot of times you feel it more so in your hips. That's a big part of it. And a big part to detect it is to stand on one foot like straight and then swing the other foot like a pendulum. And if you're able to swing it like a pendulum, that means that one foot is likely shorter. Then you switch foots and do it on the other side, and the other foot gets stuck on the ground. It means it's a longer one.
Oh.
All right. Well,
Leg length discrepancy.
if I have to do next week's pod over Zoom, I have injured myself testing myself for leg discrepancy.
You are leg discrepant.
Real thing.
Is that yeah? At least it's no Luke Kincaid, right?
Well, he's got.
You know Luke, right? Yeah, he's been a guest on. Yeah, he's got his knees are on the wrong side of his legs, and he had to get surgery.
Yeah.
Well,
something
maybe
like that.
he had to get surgery.
Luke was born with his knees on the other side of his legs.
That's what I tell people.
Sure.
Oh,
But no, his thing was like, if he didn't get the surgery, he would just never stop growing.
Yeah.
He would eventually become an Ent from Lord of the Rings, or whatever.
What?
Yeah.
He's a tall fella. I didn't know that. I know that's like a thing.
He was 5'3" when I met him.
Just kept growing. Man, that's like giantism right there. That's crazy.
Yeah. Does the rest of him or just his legs? I never
Are you
got
asking about his dick?
Well, I know, but now, of
his
course.
His dick has a knee on the wrong side too. It's impressive. The women hate it.
Yeah, that's some sick. Love it. It's the sick ghoul shit right there.
Exactly. So what else happened?
Well, DEI.
Oh, right.
DEI happened, or rather, RIP to DEI, because we're doing away with it.
We've actually complied. Huh? Yeah,
like the Department of DEI has been taken away?
Yeah, they've handed out all these. A part of the executive order spree that Trump did was ending all DEI. He rolled back affirmative action as much as he could and things like that. And then, the real problem, the non-comedy related problem, is that people keep acquiescing to Trump before he has to ask. So a lot of companies did away with their DEI stuff without him actually having to ask them. People think as a way to kind of like suck up to the administration, like tech firms and stuff like that. Except I think Apple and like a couple other places.
Target was the big shock to me because Target used to get fucking lambasted for having a gay end cap in the month of June or whatever.
I think Target got cowed like Anheuser-Busch did. I think the buying power of rednecks snapped. They cracked that whip and it kept them in line.
I know. Those people were offended by a 3x5 section at the end of an aisle that had a shirt that said gay on it or whatever.
Yeah. Well, they can hold the boycott, I guess, which is what it is. If you can hold the boycott, you can win. If you can't, like we tried to with Chick-fil-A and failed miserably, we only make them more powerful.
I've been big on I've been great on my Chick-fil-A ban. I haven't had I've had Chick-fil-A twice in my life.
Really?
It's a very popular place. Every time I always see lines around it, I'm like, it's okay, but people still love it.
It's fast food is more of an on the way thing, and the only Chick-fil-A I know is not on the way to anywhere I'm ever going. So gay rights. No, it's really just it's gay convenience.
I used to date somebody who was a self-described pansexual, which just means bisexual in your Gen Z. But I guess there is a real definition to it. It's like broader than bisexuality. Anyway,
well, a lot of them just mean they have standards.
Yeah.
Like, I can be attracted to men or women, but I'm looking for intelligence. Okay, you're bisexual, and you have standards. Yeah. You don't need a term for that.
Yeah, well, they got their own term. Well, of course, those are the eggheads, so they developed their own term. That's demisexual.
Isn't the actual term like psychosexual?
Yeah,
like if
you're sapio or something?
Yes.
Sapiosexual, yeah.
But, so my pansexual ex, she would... when she would have like parties and stuff, she would send me to Chick-fil-A to pick up the nugget platter. And I was like,
What?
this is just because I'm not maintaining the boycott. This is not you maintaining the boycott.
You're still, yeah.
Yeah, you're just sending like a smuggler, like a nug smuggler in here.
Oh, goodness.
You're not. Yeah. How do you like half ban a fucking? Like, all right, but you can only get the LGBTQ sauce. Not the I've already used that joke before. I'd love to say I came up with that off the cuff.
That's okay. Sometimes you got to pull it out of the
That's
holster
right.
there.
Yeah.
You're just some weird underground railroad for her fucking guilt. Like
Yeah.
just trying to get the chicken to her mouth.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Just, hey, look, a nugget platter is a hit at a party. That is true.
It's just like, but we'll only accept like free range. We will only accept gay chicken meat.
That's what someone goes there to buy. They're just like,
Yeah.
all these chickens were gay, right?
All our eggs are gay chicken. They were adopted, obviously.
With the price of eggs now, you have to go with some chickens that were still in the closet when they laid the eggs.
Something like that. Yeah. We'll get there.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is gonna. Do you feel that companies, as a whole, and I kind of feel like this when it comes to like language too. I'll get to that point of like you see something like Target, you would think like generally kind of liberal, but at the same time like it's like a huge company. Do you think it's just going to lead to people organically dismissing practices from DEI? Like there'll be less of incentive to do like things like hire like a diverse staff for X, Y, and Z reasons, and it'll just kind of like almost adopt more of what the prominent thought is. And in this case, the prominent thought is this administration. Do you think people will just do that without having to be forced to do it? The influence will be powerful?
No, I think it just reintroduced. I think that it, while I mean, people found it onerous, I guess. I never really felt, it feels like now it'll just be like promoting more white mediocrity. Like it'll be like, now this is more, what will replace the qualified
male meat, because women are apparently finding out that white women are finding out that they were DEI hires all along too.
Well, that's
so
yeah.
they're getting marched out of places.
Everyone, right, all along the identity hierarchy train,
Yeah.
right, that you'll find more, white women will have it second best, and then so on and so forth. But it'll be like more like now it's just the green light for everyone's niece and nephew to be hired. Like I worked for a union for a little while, or with a union, I should say, and they were only, it was a film union, and they only had black and Hispanic people in the union due to a lawsuit, a discrimination lawsuit. But it wasn't because, I'm sure many of them were racist, but it wasn't because they were like no blacks and no Hispanics. They were like, no, only members of these 13 families can be in the union, and they're all white because they were probably all racist when they formed the union, right?
It's really one family.
Basically, there was like, I swear to God, there was this one family last name. It was like 20 dudes that I worked with had this last name. They were all in the same family. So that's how they broke up this basic like cartel, which was like a film union up in New York, was that they were like, well, you're all white, so we're going to sue you for discrimination. But I don't think it was discrimination, like actual bigotry that motivated that. It was like, it's our club.
It's nepotism
it's all
bit.
nepotism.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think that's what it's going to be.
And they all just happen to be white. That's
Right, yeah.
not, Kirk, that's not our fault. I think, what do you think, Kurt?
That's, in that particular example, that kind of sounds like not necessarily like intentionally racist.
Oh, absolutely unintentionally racist. Yeah.
It
but
could have,
I'm saying like that's the kind of racism we'll get.
Yeah, it's like, I think that companies will do this, and the reason I think this is because I see it in language a lot. I noticed it first with Obama. I have this theory that whenever someone's like the sitting president, they have a lot of influence, obviously through like these executive orders and such. But in terms of how people talk, like I found that I was talking more like Obama when Obama was there. Like I was adding more vocal pauses. It kind of empowers you to have a vocal pause and such. And I've noticed when Trump came in, more politicians and more people, even like employers that I worked with, they were like being more brash. They were like cursing more. And I think that there's going to be more and more of that. And I just see that spreading to companies where it's like, all right, ultimately we want to be aligned with what the prominence is going to be. And if the prominence is this administration, I think we're going to see more of that.
Okay. Yeah, that's actually a really good point. I think that I can see that happening. You know, I hope that people will get into telling the same thing over as soon as they say it, like Trump does.
Describe your last pussy and why you stop grabbing it. No.
Like, you know, Trump says, like, the face, he goes, like, this is a big room. When I walked in, I said, wow, what a big room. You know, like, I hope that becomes a thing where we all just say something and then describe the moment we had when we had the thought.
Kirk, I'm a big fan of P. I'm a big fan of P. Just a great letter. I grab him. I love it.
Technically, you are wearing a hat with just a P on it.
With pee on it.
Yeah.
There's
pee on the bed.
That's probably why I docked the letter, because P is also, you know, it's my last initial. P, but the fact that, like, guys, I also use the letters as the words, like letters that also doubled as words.
Sure.
And P is gross.
No, Dave, he means my hat is covered in pee, buddy. I peed on this hat.
I already said that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Bastard.
I already inferenced.
I'm so glad.
I already inferred that your hat got peed on.
Damn you for beating me there.
He wearing a Phillies hat, Kirk. He can't see. Yeah.
No one can see.
I
that
figured.
actually, but
The Pennsylvania. That's
how far?
Pennsylvania Phillies.
Do you think it's just going to go to there, like language will change, or do you think it'll? How deep do you think it goes for how it might change people's thinking?
I think it'll have an impact overall. Like, I think just across the board, things will be changing. I don't think it'll completely shift people. Like, if you have like a certain moral code, I don't think it's going to be completely shifted. But I don't know. I'm not the person to necessarily answer that. I think for myself, I don't think my language is going to change as much. I never actually thought about this. Like, what is going to change for myself, or if you guys have that for yourself, this reflection, what do you think is going to change for yourself when a prominent power is in place?
We're talking about the Nazis now, right?
No.
Depending
on what you're. That may have been a psyop right there too.
Maybe Nazis or Chick-fil-A, dude. We don't know.
Yeah.
If the Nazis take power,
let's make someone.
Dave will rank the Nazis.
Oh man. Would you?
Well, I say psyop and like, oh, let's throw him in there so then Trump doesn't look as bad. It's like, well, he's not doing that. So that was another thought too. But
it's just week one. You never know.
He's waiting for the prominence to kick in. It's like, all right, well, once the prominence kicks in,
yeah,
there.
Well, hey, like you said, it's we'll have to wait and see if the Elon gets some copycats. Some I give my heart to you copycats, because that'll be like you said, like the prominence.
Did you guys hear about the thing that Elon, just to figure it out, because I feel like what he did, obviously the symbol was bad, like him doing that. I think you guys
whole
nailed
Sig
that.
Heil thing, yeah.
But also he called
consensus.
in. Yeah, that's a consensus. We all been like, okay, you're an idiot and a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Then did you see that he called in to the German right party?
Oh yeah,
Like
that was the thing where I was like, oh, this is even. He's like doubling, tripling down.
And he's also been like sharing pictures of politicians waving, freeze framed at like the perfect.
Yeah.
To make it look like they're
some
doing
guy
it.
that was his friend wrote it, and he made a good point, and I believe it now because he convinced me, was that he's doing it because he feels like he's losing his grip on Trump, and he wants to have the far right commit to him as hard as they commit to Trump, so that way Steve Bannon and the far right people will have their control over Trump weakened, because if Elon can outmaneuver them on the right, then he has the money side of Trump and the like part of Trump that needs a cult adoring him at all times. So the guy said it is completely fake. Like, it is trolling, but it's not just trolling to like make people upset. It's trolling with some like grand scheme to manipulate Trump in mind. So food for thought.
Yeah. Did they mention his grandfather's background?
Well, yeah, that too, right? I mean, I think
it's kind of just happens to be a little quinky-dink, though.
His friend said that like Elon is an Elon supremacist, so it's not that he's like a white supremacist. Elon thinks that he specifically is better than all life on Earth. Like,
once you got that 10th figure in your once you got that 10th digit in your bank account, you can't see yourself. Like, we're not humans to him. And like,
yeah, I guess my fuck you money limit is so low. It's like $1,500.
Yeah,
so I can't say what I would do with $1 trillion.
Exactly.
Too much damn money.
Yeah. Kirk, do you have a fuck you money amount where you just say fuck off? Do you have an amount that you know you would hit?
I don't think I'd say that's my friends and family. I don't think I would say that. That's my first thought,
Oh,
but
those are the first people I would tell.
Yeah, God, I do that for free.
yeah, because I hear with like inflation, like you think like $1 million. Apparently, that's not a lot. I'm like, that sounds like a lot of money. So I'd like to think that I don't. Who knows? Maybe that's what happens with the Trump administration. I develop an idea of fuck you money.
See,
Oh,
I think I could.
That's
hope
in
so.
2 years from
million.
now.
I hope so for you, Kirk.
If you think about like, because you like, would your spending go? Like, if I had $1 million, I'd fucking have the shittiest apartment ever, and fucking just fuck off, world. Like,
It's like a condo sort of
I
thing
think,
like that,
I
right?
think you're right,
Yeah.
Kirk. I've heard that too, that like $1 million isn't really that much with like how crazy inflation is and stuff. I feel like I would get that, burn through it, and then I'd be like that guy that used to be a millionaire, you know?
It's yeah. I have all those friends that are like into investing and all that stuff. I wish I shouldn't say like I wish I'd get into it. Like I can't. I'm not being barred or banned from investing. I just don't have that. I'm not wired that way to be like, oh yeah, let me actively look into this.
I
But
can gamble.
Yeah, comics and investors, there's not a big overlap there. There's not a lot of comics who are like, saving for the future. Wise decision.
Because we're too smart. That's
Yes,
what it is.
exactly.
We smell their bullshit.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, we're all
I-
childless and we're gonna die.
I'm investing in myself and my talent, fellas. I don't know about
Oh,
you.
With that, let's
Sell,
go to the news.
sell. All right.
Let's go to the news.
oh, you know what?
Hey, what's up? This is the news section. I'm here for it for the first time in a long time. This is interesting. You guys know how this works. Wait, I do want to say, while the intro was going on, Kirk, you wanted to say something?
It's not news related.
Neither are the
Yeah,
news
neither
jokes
are
we
these
do.
jokes.
and
We
it would
don't
be
even-
it would be a whole thing. So I'll revisit it if it comes back naturally, sort of
Okay,
thing.
All
cool.
right.
Sounds good. So, Kirk, if you've never seen the news segment of this program, Dave and I have written 12 jokes about the news. I
Yeah.
don't know what Dave
Kirk
wrote.
was there when Dan Getz came to the idea. He was me and because we started like just to try like during the pandemic, right? Like let's like work on our joke writing, and then we would all
Monologue.
share news stories. So me, Dan, and Kirk were the ones that
Oh.
shared the news stories with each other. So Kirk knows all
Oh,
about this.
okay,
Yeah.
cool. I didn't.
Yeah.
That's
I
what-
didn't even know that. That's
I
awesome.
love that you guys do this, and it means a lot to me because, like, I first did this with my friend Jason from like an improv class, like probably 12 years ago. We shared news headlines, and then eventually, like Dan Getz and I started doing it. Then, like Dave, you started doing it, and I saw your writing. I was like, oh my god, you're incredible at this, and you guys are keeping it alive. So that's very cool. I see the clips when you guys do it.
Thank you. Well, this is a
Awesome.
great
Yeah,
idea.
I always
yeah.
loved your. I didn't know if you knew. I was like, I didn't want to give you. I don't like to give people homework assignments. So it's just like, if you do it, you do it. Like, I
Oh,
was like, oh yeah, we do the news. You should write. But I don't like bother people.
oh, I would have written some stuff. I haven't written like a monologue joke in quite some time, but yeah.
That's
So
on me.
I'd love to hear yours though.
That's
Maybe
on
there's
me.
some value in starting up another group. Listen, think of me if you do. I would be. I'd be into that because I'm not going to be doing this for much
Yeah.
longer. Okay.
Say the rules. I know I interrupted.
Yeah, it's okay. Dave,
Get back on track,
All
idiot.
right, I'm fucking. All right, you interrupted. Okay.
I know.
Okay. I don't know what he wrote. He doesn't know what I wrote. But if we do a joke about the same story, we're gonna have a joke off.
Joking each other off.
So you guys, do you share this? You don't share
No,
this.
we don't share. I don't
We're
know.
hearing them for the first time.
For the first
Got
time. So my reaction, laughter or otherwise, will be natural. Otherwise.
Usually otherwise.
Yeah, it's mostly otherwise.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's it, right? Oh, well, if we have a joke off, you're going to be the judge. That's the wrinkle in this one. Basically, you just pick which one you like better. Don't go ahead and if we do the first joke and they're different, don't pick that one because sometimes people are like, I like that one better, and it makes one of us feel bad. Only in the event of a joke off will you be
Same
will you
news
be-
story, yeah.
and we will make it clear by yelling at each other and calling it out. Unless I don't hear it for some reason, which has happened a couple times on the podcast because I'm too busy thinking about my own shit. Dave, do you want to go first?
Yeah. My thing is that I keep the headline exactly copied and paste, so I don't change the wording, which works for this joke specifically. President Trump gives government DEI offices deadline to go dark. To which they replied, "Yeah, wasn't that the point?"
Okay.
For the audience,
Coming
home,
out
Kirk
shooting.
is clapping.
Alrighty. Donald Trump blocks $50 million in funding for condoms in Gaza, signaling his administration's position that the Palestinians are about to be fucked raw.
That's a quick little hitter. I like
Yeah, thank you. These are all, I tried to be very
Yeah.
succinct with these this
Yeah.
week.
Ben and Jerry's co-founder giving away 1,000 Doge coins a day to support Elon Musk mission. And this will go along with a new flavor to honor the billionaire that'll just be plain vanilla ice cream with chunks of Elon's boot in it. Thought they were hippies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Democrats win control of Minnesota's state Senate, which makes sense because Minnesota actually looks like hell has frozen over.
It's true. This one's. I know you're not a sports fan. This one's a sports joke. Las Vegas Raiders hire Pete Carroll to be team's new head coach, per reports. Let's just hope it's not like his stint of being in charge of actual Raiders, where afterward everyone was complaining, I can't believe he pillaged when he should have raped.
You know, raping and pillaging, it always comes together.
What with the R and the P? The
Yeah.
passing and the running, the
Oh,
raping and
okay.
the pillaging.
The RPO, the RPO
yeah,
option. Yeah.
the rape pillage option.
Sounds like Mel Brooks talking about it in one of like the old history of the world. Like, it's like we're raping, we're pillaging. You know how it is.
Yeah.
All
right.
right, a second. There we go.
RFK Jr. says he will study the safety of abortion pills at Senate confirmation hearing, though he said the study will have to involve him impregnating several reporters.
He was a mess today, huh?
Yeah, that was if they approve him, there's no standards. They approved that drunk for Secretary of Defense. That was really bad. If they approve this fucking lunatic, the whale guy, I don't know.
Speaking of lunatics, Lauren Boebert calls security on non-existent guy in woman's bathroom, which now leaves her questioning, what was I grabbing through that glory hole?
That's a Beetlejuice, baby. All right. Democrat wins Iowa Senate seat in district Trump won by 21 points. How did he do it? Simple. He's racist.
Strike
and
right
easy.
over the plate.
Nice and easy.
It's just
Trump lights up Vegas casino floor with unexpected drop-in Gamblers Start USA chant. He wanted to see firsthand that the casino was rolling back their DEI initiatives. So obviously he was pleased when he saw people hitting 21 and yelling, Jack!
I feel like that was solid, but I didn't get it. Is that a Jack?
Because they took the black out of blackjack. So yeah, they hit 21.
Oh,
It's just
I see.
Jack
it's just
now.
Jack
yeah.
now.
okay, gotcha.
Should I change it to White Jack?
It's
I thought about it. I considered
Maybe.
both of them. I probably went the wrong route with
That's
that.
okay.
Yeah, whatever. Hindsight.
Yeah, it's all right. Live, it's live.
Yeah.
A new opinion poll shows 85% of Greenlanders do not want to join the United States. And a poll shows 85% of Americans think Greenland is where Barry Keoghan and U2 are from.
Okay. All the monkeys that escaped from a South Carolina research facility have been recaptured. And thanks to multiple people reporting attacks involving feces thrown at their heads, it's been determined that their actions were way too civil to be considered for a presidential pardon.
John Fetterman to attend the signing ceremony for Trump's first law, proving in a bipartisan message that those brain aneurysms aren't done with him yet.
That's a wild one.
Rain gives Los Angeles wildfire relief, but officials warn of mudslides and toxic ash. And based on this, authorities are telling parents not to buy their children any pets because at this point, there's a strong chance they'll turn into kaiju.
I'd like to see like a giant kaiju dog. That would be cool.
What's going on? It's raining. Oh no, now we're flooding. What? What is wrong with you?
It's biblical.
You didn't feed LA after midnight, did you? Oh, shit.
Oh, God damn
It is Sodom and Gomorrah, right? Isn't that how they described it in the Bible? Like, oh, it just said Sodom on a big hill.
Let's go to the Midwest for this next joke. You'll like this one.
I hate the Midwest.
Oh yeah, but you'll like this one. Because the largest tuberculosis outbreak in the United States is centered in Kansas. Yeah. Officials in Kansas City say they just have no idea how to contain something without the referees throwing bullshit flags to help them out.
That's good.
Love it.
Thank you.
I thought like, oh yeah, they're gonna get beat by another TB.
Oh.
Boom. All right. Mel Gibson on Trump's visit to California. Daddy arrived and he's taking his belt off. Then he followed up with, wow, I'm so used to only saying that on my ex-girlfriend's voicemail.
That's good.
Pardoned January 6th rioter faces new charges on soliciting underage women in a classic case of out of the frying pan and into a minor.
Jeez. And another one of them got shot at a traffic stop. I love it.
I love it. It's just the trash taking itself out. It's great.
I'm a sovereign citizen.
Yeah,
Just like, all right, man. All right, just let me see your ID, dude.
Am I allowed to actively react to these?
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Feel free.
No, Dan, that was solid.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I was very happy with my joke writing today. I was a little
That was
mad,
solid.
so it came out good.
The cop said you forgot to signal, and then he threw up a Nazi salute. Oh, sorry. That wasn't my joke. Pee Wee Herman star Paul Rubens comes out as gay in posthumous documentary. And special props goes out to the Playhouse's talking closet for being able to keep that secret for so long.
Well, you play the song because we got an old-fashioned joke off.
Shit.
Joking each other off. And this was actually the next joke on the list, so we not only both had the thought about Pee Wee Herman, we had it at the same time, because I think, like me, you don't rearrange these jokes, do you?
I'm chronological.
Yeah, right. There we go. All right. I liked yours, by the way.
Thank you.
Pee Wee Herman star Paul Rubens comes out as gay in documentary After Death, in an emotional moment where we learn gay is the secret word and all the furniture starts screaming.
That's fun. They're
Yeah.
both fun.
They're really good.
That was fun.
Yeah, so Kirk, now you have the unenviable position. What Pee Wee furniture joke did you prefer?
On that one, both were solid. I'm gonna have to go with Dave on that one.
Yeah, I like Dave. Okay,
All right. That was the most emotion I've ever seen.
that's a big act out for
I
you
know,
right
yeah.
there. Yeah.
All right. Principal busted for allegedly throwing wild booze-fueled house party with 100 teens. This will be investigated. Someone that works in education having enough money to afford a house that can fit that many people.
Bear that attacked man in Pennsylvania had rabies, officials confirm. A sad consequence of Trump cutting federal parks funding, and an even sadder end for Smokey.
I love how you could tell sometimes joke writing could feel like bowling. And that
Oh, he just said you fucking 710 that one.
Yeah.
no. Actually,
I'm
I've so how I feel about it. I don't know what the term 710 means actually, but
That's
I
like
feel
the
like
worst thing to ban.
Oh, not the case in that one. I feel like both your jokes are getting better as you're going.
Oh,
Thank you.
Both of them are just getting better and better.
Thank you.
And I feel like it's
I'll
I don't know if
take
it's like
not a
the
710.
No.
more
And
you're
you're still
writing.
knocking down 8 pins. It's like the two furthest back pins, so it's hard to hit both of them for the spare. That's like
Oh,
the
those
710
separate
spot.
ones. You gotta
Well,
do a
I'll
little
tell you what, I
spin.
go a little goofy in some of my last ones, so who knows how much these last
And this
frames
next
will-
one probably won't mean anything to you, but it's very special for this show, and I can explain afterward.
Okay.
Birth tourism organizer jailed over scheme to bring pregnant Chinese women to U.S. Most upsetting is this person probably could have been celebrated if instead of using the term pregnant Chinese women, they went with the far more popular chubby Asians. I got spit on for referring to someone as a chubby Asian on
Yeah.
this show.
Shout out Mark Wellborn.
Wait, Mark spit on you?
No, Mark.
no. He's too Christian, far too Catholic for that.
Oh,
He had a dalliance with a young, and I was
chubby
I was commending him, like hell yeah, man, a chubby Asian. And she heard, and she did not appreciate being called that. So when I saw her at bar 13, she spit beer on me,
Yeah.
and I accepted.
Yeah,
I accepted.
a word to the wise, Kirk. Befriend the local burlesque community. You do not want them as your enemies. They're very motivated young ladies.
What's a pack of burlesque women?
Oh, gosh.
Thought.
Yeah. That's That's a compliment. That's a compliment. Nice. Smart move, Dave.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's move on.
Yeah, let's just move on. Let's move on before my better judgment fails me.
Yeah.
Okay. And thank you so much for complimenting my jokes. Thank you for saying they were smart, Kirk. I really appreciate that. With that in mind.
And he said he made it a bowling, like something that you could pass as an athlete for. Too.
Yeah, they're probably one of the few things. Yeah, darts, bowling, poker, if we consider it. Okay.
It's on ESPN.
Yeah. Okay. Woman arrested after 27 dead horses found across multiple properties. Yeah, she will be held on charges of negligence.
God damn.
Again, I'm saying right over the plate.
Yeah,
that
thank
is
you. I
fucking
appreciate
comedy
it.
101.
I appreciate it.
I did see that. It was like a Hollywood horse. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Hollywood horses.
I was like, that Sarah Jessica Parker joke I'm going to make is too mean, so I'm just going to 86 it.
Yeah.
All right, this is my last one.
Yeah, there's some habeas corpus.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm done, and I hate myself.
You
Let's continue.
hate yourself.
Oh, lazy.
Trump invites nearly all federal workers to quit now, get paid through September, which would make him the second president that will have to do something drastic in the month of September to win people back.
I like that.
Yeah. It's a good old 9/11 joke.
Thank you.
Okay, here we go. We're getting goofy for my last one here. Dr. Phil joins border czar Tom Homan on immigration raid. When asked for comment, Dr. Phil said, quote, "Hey, you know I'm a psychologist and a patriot, and sometimes the best way to help someone is to throw them against a police car and shove your forearm right against their throat. You know, then you ship them back to a country that they never been to before."
Sweet.
There you go.
I didn't expect that impression.
No, yeah,
I have a great Dr. Phil that I can't use because Adam Ray's flooding the fucking market with it.
He kills Dr. Phil every time.
He floods that market with
I
a
know.
pretty good Dr. Phil
he had
impersonation.
a window where he was just Biden for, but he'll probably go back to Dr. Phil now. You missed.
He just did it on.
He tours as Dr. Phil.
Yeah, well, the NFL, the championships games, they had him as the Caliendo.
Oh, I
he
did
came
not
on
even
for the
see
pregame
that.
as the Caliendo comic. Yeah.
Kirk, what do you got coming up?
That's it. Like show wise, life wise.
This is the plug.
Plugs,
Oh.
your handles, your. I know you said your podcast is coming to an end, but if there's a few left.
Yeah, no, Proper Bonics has come to an end. Shout out to all those people that listened, to all 70 of you and such. We did it for years. We thoroughly enjoyed it. On my end, show wise, I'll be at Please More Comedy. This is just a wild name for a comedy show, but Please More Comedy this Saturday, February 1st in Philadelphia. Check out Rachel Peters' page. It's her show. On February 8th, I'll be at Don't Tell, New Jersey. I don't know where it's going to be.
You're not actually allowed to tell it.
I don't know.
Don't say.
Yeah.
I feel like they should probably tell me, but that's okay.
That's very exclusive.
That's half the fun, Kirk.
Right.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah. February 12th, I'll be at Next in Line in Philadelphia. And February 21st, doing some in the studio comedy thing by Aaron Bell. Sorry, Aaron Bell, but check out Aaron Bell's page and a show that I'll be on the 21st of February.
Okay.
Cool. And your handles.
Yeah, you can just say it for. I have them pulled up for everybody.
Oh yeah.
Audio.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Captain Keith 24. And I just realized. So actually on February 5th, I'll be doing my last course of jiu-jitsu.
Ooh, yeah.
It's
So those weren't just like ceremonial karate shoes. You actually do karate.
well, the ground karate. Yeah, it's me and my friend Alex, we signed up for a month just to see what that's like, and I'm in pain. I was completely injured for like a good week. So who knows? It may continue, but that's going to be the official last one.
Okay. Well, do yourself a favor, people watching at home. If you have a chance to see Kirk, please do.
Oh, yeah.
He is, I didn't say this up top, I usually compliment my guests, but I didn't do it this time. You are truly one of my favorite comedians to see live. You are you make jokes I've seen you do, many times over. You make me laugh at them every single time. You're great. You're really great comic. So
thanks,
go and
man.
see Kirk if you have a chance. You will not be as disappointed as, say, if you saw
yeah.
Dave. Speaking of which, Dave, what do you got coming up?
All right. Well, show-wise by February, it's more back-ended, so we'll get to that later. Unless I know I yelled at someone, I won't say who, for this last week. If I just randomly appear on a show flyer, I'll show up if I'm not already booked on something. I saw myself pop up on a show flyer last week. And I'm like, I don't think I ever agreed or heard about this before. And I would, if I weren't already booked, I would have shown up. So if it happens again, I'm not discouraging people to do that. Throw me on a show flyer without asking me.
Yeah, same.
Let's have fun with that.
I will go out to a show if I didn't know I was booked. If you sent me a flyer and I was on it, I'd be like, I guess I'm on this show.
And last night I recorded an episode of Feel Feelings with Danny Getz, and who we already mentioned, and George Bruderman.
Okay.
And so that should be coming out sometime soon.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Dan?
All right, that's great. Hey, I didn't send. Here's a fun inside baseball fact for the people at home. You have to ask for shows months in advance, and then you get on them if you're lucky. I didn't ask for a single show all fall, so I booked my first one today.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm going to be doing a weekend in March. So, this podcast will be well and truly over by the time I do my next show. But Wisecrackers, March 14th, you can come and we'll hang out and have a good time up there in Wilkes-Barre. Maybe I'll book something before this podcast ends. We'll see. But
Time to gamble again.
Yeah, right. Well, maybe I'll just make some stuff up. Who's going to check me? We're almost episode 100. Neil, what do you got coming up?
Yeah, you guys can check out. Oh, also, just for the podcast, if you guys need any of those links, they are in the description below. So go check out all that stuff. Make sure to like, subscribe for these guys. I know they're ending, but you never know. Maybe things will change, but stay up with them. Like, subscribe, all their stuff as well.
It's like
You can
heroin.
Check me out.
I might need
Push your man.
podcasting. I might need podcasting after this.
I'm going to wake up itching. I need to talk about this.
Sorry, go on, Neil.
No, you can check me out at I Am Neil Wood on all the stuff. Check me out at People's Light on the main line in PA. That's February 1st of this Saturday.
The People's Light and Theater
Yes.
Corporation?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. What are you doing? Like
just doing a little spot over there, MC and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
they do
doing a
comedy
little
over
thing.
there. I thought that was a very professional outfit.
I will talk to you right after this.
All right.
And I will hopefully be able to help. That is my goal for both of these because they're very funny people. You can check me out. You can check me out there. Let's just make this quick. Check me out all my dates. You can go over to I Am Neil Wood on all the stuff and just hit my link tree. It's got all my dates and details. You cannot miss it. But thanks, guys. Great episode.
This was great. Thank you
Yes.
guys so much. We'll see you next week. Do we have a guest next week?
An invite has been extended.
Okay, we will make no promises. Mystery guest next week, barring acceptance. But there's no mystery as to who. We had a great guest this week. Kirk, thank you so much.
Glad we got
were
you on
awesome.
before this
Thank
ended.
you.
Couldn't have.
Yeah, thank you so much. And yeah, I wish you well on your podcast journey, and no matter what steps you end up taking with it and all that. And yeah, thank you so much for having me.
To you as well. Thank you for
Our
being
pleasure.
here. And Dave, I'll see you next week. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. There we go. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Oh, man, that was we fucking landed that like Kerry Strug should have.
This has been a Drop Tent Media production.